Hi, everybody. It's Craig and Arun back with your NFL Sunday action week 3. Yeah, where have started NFL is fast behind us now. And we're coming off a big week. Last Sunday, well, actually, last week's videos, if I believe my record's right, 15-1 with our official picks. So the only one we missed was we had the under in the Titans game, and that one came up, went over. But all the other ones we actually had some double wins where we said we leaned this way and they both hit. So we didn't even count those, just the official picks. So let's try to do it again. That's rare that we do that. But hey, you want to say thanks to us? Use that promo code DocSports.com or the free $60 for new customers, DocSports.com/ICCT. Also, that's for new customers. For existing customers, use the promo code WINNER10. IC went 5-1 with his 6-pack last week. I went 5-2 with my 7 plays, including all 3 top play winners. So let's do it again this week. Use that promo code WINNER10. You can get, instead of 99, it's 89 for each of us. Get them both, and you will thank us later. All right, let's hit that like and subscribe button. We'll continue to do this as long as you guys continue to support us. Put in the comments what you like. But let's get right to those winners to kick us off. We start in Philly. The undefeated Philly, the undefeated Rams facing off here. Philly favored by -3. Total 44. I see. What do you like in this good matchup?
I like the Rams. So a couple things here. First of all, both these teams are 2-0. Eagles beat them 28-22 last year, and also beat them 37-20. So they beat them the last 3 times they played them. Obviously, you'll have a Coach McVay here, who has not beaten this team over the last 3 times he's played them. I like the fact the Rams come off. First of all, the Rams have covered 9 of 10 dating back to last year. So they're playing really good football. They, of course, lost to the Seahawks in between there on January 5th. But they've been really good. Obviously, they lost to the Eagles as well, but they covered that game. So they lost the Eagles just 3 games ago, right? They lost them 22-28. They covered that 7.5 line in the playoffs. It's a team that lost. LA started last game slow. They were down 10-13 at the half before coming back. I don't think they started this game as slow. It kind of reminds me of the Bills game when they started their first game slow, right? And they ended up coming back to win against the Ravens. And, of course, the next week they went and rolled the Jets. So, in that same token, I feel like Stafford is playing great right now, 23 for 33, almost 300 yards last game. You combine the fact, I think that, Philadelphia's had 2 emotional big wins. They beat Dallas. They beat Kansas City. This is not a good situation for them at all. I feel like you have a Philly team that Hurts only went 15 for 22 last game. He only threw for 101 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. But obviously, so I think when you put that all into effect, I think the Rams are fantastic here. I like them plus a 3. You might even be able to get plus 3.5 by game time. All right, Craig. Vegas is playing Washington here on the road, catching 3.5. Vegas, of course, is better than advertised, I think. I think they was impressive. They're winning against New England. New England, of course, beat Miami, so that win looks a little bit better. They lost the Chargers at 9-20. In the old Pete Carroll said, "Are you okay, dude?" to Jim Harbaugh. And so that always makes me laugh. That was the USC versus Stanford game when they were 40-point dogs and won outright. It is impressive in some ways that Vegas didn't get blown out, I guess, by the Chargers. I know the line was 3.5, but I know that was your 7-star winner too. Washington comes in off of that loss against Green Bay on Thursday Night Football, I believe, 18-27. Both these teams are 1-1. Who do you like, Craig?
I mean, it's the second straight week where Vegas is on the rest disadvantage. Remember last week, like I said, you had a 7-star winner on the Chargers because they played on Friday and then had that extra rest. This week, of course, Washington lost at Green Bay. Now they have the rest advantage. But the big edge this week that Las Vegas has is Daniels is questionable. Had a knee procedure, so who knows if he'll go this week. I don't care who goes. I like the Raiders here. I thought the Raiders, they had a million opportunities, but that is a very good Chargers defense. I think they're going to end up top 5 in the league. We know how Coach Harbaugh can coach up that defense. I don't think they'll have that same problem with Washington. I thought Green Bay kind of did whatever they wanted to do in that game. Give me the Raiders plus 3.5. I could even see them losing but covering. But I think the Raiders in a nice bounce back spot against a Washington Commanders team that has a banged up QB. Next game we're looking at is the Texans at the Jags. Texans lost on the other Monday Night Football game, even though they came back and were up late. Jags lost at my Bengals in the last seconds there. Jags -1, total 44. What do you like here?
Well, Houston is 0-2. And Jacksonville, of course, comes off that loss against Cincinnati where they played really well. Obviously, the new coaching staff is making a big difference. And, letting go of that head coach was the right thing to do. It's letting go of Doug Peterson. So you have a Jacksonville team that lost 27-31 against the Bengals, and I thought that they were up 17-10 at the half. You have a quarterback here in Trevor Lawrence who went 24 for 42, but he threw for 3 touchdowns, also threw for 2 interceptions too. Houston comes off tough losses against the Rams and the Bucs, 9-14 and 19-20. Houston is better than what their record shows, in my opinion. It took an incredible effort from Baker Mayfield to beat this team. I thought Stroud went 13 for 24, 207 yards, not amazing. I think his best game is to come. And I know Jacksonville is favored by 1 here, but what else are you going to do? You're going to have to probably favor them by 1, I think. Houston has also beaten them in back-to-back games. Last year they swept them. Jacksonville could win, but I feel the sense of desperation that Houston has, and I can feel it. I'm going to back Houston plus the 1 here. I also think that it seems too easy to take the under, right? But it does feel like that type of game too. But I'm going to keep it simple. I think Houston is absolutely desperate. I think they have to win, and I'm going to back Houston here.
Don't forget, use that 10% off promo code. This week's promo code is Cowboy10, all one word. Get you 10% off on the weekly or the full season passes. So make sure you get in on it and start winning today.
All right, Craig. Steelers only a 1-point favorite here on the road against New England. Both these teams are 1-1. Pittsburgh off of a shocking loss to Seattle 17-31, but not exactly. We actually predicted Seattle to win. And you have a Steelers team that beat the Jets by 2, which doesn't look good now, losing to Seattle by 14, which doesn't look good now. Maybe that's the reason why they're only a 1-point favorite here. I mean, New England lost to Vegas. That loss doesn't look so bad now after the Chargers game. Beat Miami by 6. Who do you like, Craig?
Tough spot for Tomlin and Steelers. So something was not right with that defense. That's why I didn't like them last week. They played 2 over games, which is not something that you see a lot of Mike Tomlin defenses. You got to take the home team here as a slight underdog. I just think the Patriots, they're playing more consistent football right now, and I don't know what's wrong. I don't know. Maybe you think if you have Aaron Rodgers, all of a sudden you can outscore people because you don't have such a liability that they've had for a decade. It seems like in Pittsburgh since Ben Roethlisberger retired, at least. But Aaron Rodgers is not that guy anymore. And I think the Steelers with Drake May, I think there's a lot of confidence building in this team. And Mike Vrabel's brought a toughness. Give me the Patriots plus 1. I even see some 1.5s out there. I think they win outright in this one. Now, the next game we're looking at is the Colts, 2-0 Colts. You better put that out there. A little respect. Favored by 3.5 at Tennessee here. O&T Tennessee, total of 42.5. What do you like here?
I like the under. I can't take Indianapolis when 75% of the public is on them. That scares the living bejesus out of me. I will tell you that the Colts, Daniel Jones went 316 yards last game, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Give him some credit there. Look, the Colts, even when they were bad, were beaten to Tennessee, right? They've beaten the last 4 times. They've beaten the last 2 years. They've swept them. Huge win for Indianapolis after that 29-28 win, and they put up 33 points on Miami. I think they have an offensive letdown here against these Titans. And these Titans gave up 33 points against the Rams, which is quite a lot for this team. And I think what happens here, obviously Coach Shane Steichen has done great in his 3rd year as head coach there. And the Colts have a new defensive coordinator, Lou Anarumo, as well. The Titans are coached by Bill Callahan, who's an offensive-minded coach as well. But I think what's going to happen here, this is going to be a defensive-minded game, man. I think Indianapolis comes in off just a huge emotional high, 29 points against Denver, massive letdown spot. I think the Titans, who gave up 33 points in the last game, they're going to play much better too. I think that's the reason why this line is so low at 3.5, because the Titans, I have this feeling that this game will be something to the extent of, I can see this game like 21-17 type game, and I'm going to take the under between these two teams. Craig, Green Bay, 7.5-point favorite on the road against Cleveland. As expected, Green Bay is 2-0 out of the gates. They beat Washington and Detroit, covered both those games, mind you. Cleveland, as expected, lost 16-17 to Cincinnati, lost 17-41 against Baltimore as Baltimore came on strong. These two teams haven't met since 2021. Will you lay it, Craig? What do you think here? 7.5.
Well, this will be the biggest, I'm sure, in all the Survivor contests. I'm sure this will be the biggest play out there because Green Bay's looked, if not the best in the league, they're in the top 5, both defense and offense. And Cleveland, even after the first week, where at least the defense kept them in the game last week, it was just against a division rival that usually you play a little closer. Those games just seemed to be closer. It was not close. It was never in question. I don't see how Green Bay doesn't win. Now, the problem is 8 is and I even see some 8.5s creeping out there. I see anywhere from 7.5 to 8.5. Like, to me, that doesn't matter. Once you get past the key number, I just think you lay it with Green Bay. I would love to find a way to play they say the smellier the underdog at home, the more you should like it. But I just can't. I just don't know how they figure it out. Like, I just think Green Bay doesn't have a letdown. Give me Green Bay in this one minus the big number. I know it's a square play, but sometimes the square plays even win. So
don't forget, free $60 worth of free premium selections, docsports.com/ICCT. If you want to try us out, that is the best way. Free $60 worth of premium selections. You try Craig and I out, and you get our premium selections and our fantastic analysis piped in there.
Falcons and the Panthers here. Kind of a must-win for the Panthers, because if they start 0-3 again this year, I just don't know how they get it right. And it was a lot of positivity in the offseason there. Falcons favored by 5, total 43. What do you like here?
Well, I want you to know one of the first games that my man Michael Penix Jr. started was against the Panthers, and he lost. Right, so he has that revenge from their overtime loss to close out last year. I remember that game because I was at that game. That's why I remember that game. So I will tell you this. I will tell you that Atlanta rolls into this game here, having revenge against these Panthers. Atlanta beat Minnesota 22-6. Atlanta could very well be 2-0, and that Bucs loss looks fantastic if our kicker would have just kicked it in. So Atlanta looks really good, Craig. They should have beaten Tampa Bay. They beat the throttle out of Minnesota, and I didn't even think Minnesota played that bad. I know it could seem that way. I mean, you have McCarthy went 11 for 21, 158. He did throw a touchdown, 2 interceptions. Atlanta took it to him, and Atlanta could have put up like 40 if they wanted to. They took it to him, and that young quarterback's only going to get better. But as far as this game, I really want to take the Falcons, but I can't take anything that's 82%. What I will take is the over. I think Atlanta's Falcons' offense is about to bust out. They put up 20 against Tampa Bay, good defense. Put against 22 against Minnesota, which is a phenomenal defense. Okay, the former Dolphins head coach is over there, right? Brian Flores, a phenomenal defense, right? So Carolina comes in here putting up 22 against Arizona, was a pretty good defense. And I thought 10 points against Jacksonville. That was Jacksonville's a home opener with their new coach. I thought they didn't play that bad. I like the fact that Bryce Young threw for 55 times last game, 35 for 55. 328 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Release the Kraken. Bryce throwing 50 times. I think this game goes over. You get the Panthers here as an active dog. You get the Falcons ready to bust out here after a couple games, and I like the over. Craig, Cincinnati, 3-point dog. Looks like Joe is out for some time, for a couple of months. They're only a 3-point dog, and sometimes they say kumbaya. Teams have a tendency to unite when they're star player goes down. That's actually my theory. And that's what I've been doing for many, many years. 3-point dog. Minnesota's a 3-point favorite. Minnesota off that tough loss to the Falcons on national television. Cincinnati off of a nice win. Cincinnati is, obviously 2-0 out of the gates, but no quarterback now. What do you think? Bengals did beat them 2 years ago in overtime.
Jake Browning is a good quarterback. That's the difference. Of J.J. McCarthy's backup, because he's going to be out this week as well, is Carson Wentz. We've seen what Carson Wentz. Now, Carson Wentz was having an MVP season that year. The Eagles won the Super Bowl, and he got injured towards the end of that year. We just haven't seen that Carson Wentz in a long time. We have seen Jake Browning. Actually, he came into the game losing and led them against, I think it's going to be what ends up being a plus 500, probably 9-8 Jaguars team. So I think that win's going to look good. Vikings really have not looked good. They really should not have beat the Bears in week 1. I had to come back in the fourth quarter. I think the Bengals, and I know people say, oh, you're just a homer. I'm telling you, I usually bet against my Bengals. I did week 1 when I gave the pick. Last week I had said the Bengals won and cover. They did. So hopefully I go 3-0. I've had them each week now. I like the Bengals plus the 3 in this one. I think they win outright. I will sprinkle on the money line as well.
Craig and I love doing videos for you every week. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you get all of our videos every single time when you post it, so you get the best lines. As soon as we post it, people jump on it. So if you want to get it as soon as we post it, like and subscribe.
Jets and the Bucs. Jets team that easily should be probably 1-1. They should have beat the Steelers week 1. Last week did not look good. Bucs look really good at 2-0. Bucs favored by 7, total 44. What do you like?
And in your defense, Craig, the Bengals have won 7 in a row, going back to last year, by the way. As far as the Jets and the Bucs are concerned, Jets, like you said, they're 0-2. Kind of sucks. Lost to the Bills. Played well against the Steelers. Maybe he's not who they thought they were as it relates to Justin Fields. 3-11 last game against Buffalo, and then Tyrod Taylor came in and went for 56 yards, and Justin Fields threw for 27 yards. Tampa Bay comes off 2-0. They're playing really well right now. Obviously, they covered against the Falcons. Great comeback win against Houston. But the question is, I lean towards the Jets. But how did the Jets play well? And I think the only way the Jets play well is through their offense. I think Tampa Bay's played two really good defenses, 23 and 20 points. I think the Jets only put up 10 points against the Bills team. Literally, Craig, they threw for less than 100 yards between two quarterbacks. It was bad, okay? So you combine that with the fact that this total sits around 44, which some people might think it's high, but no, I like the Jets as an active dog. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Jets squeak in here. Tampa Bay has other fish to fry as they have Philadelphia, the reigning Super Bowl champs, on deck. And I think when you put this together, I like the over here between the Jets and the Bucs. I think it's going to be a situation where the Jets get up early and the Bucs have to come back, which is going to spill this game over. Craig, Denver was probably looking ahead to the Chargers, and that's why they lost to the Colts. Now they come in as a surprising 2.5-point dog, and they are 1-1. The Chargers are perfect 2-0. 75% on the Chargers. Seems to be a little bit disrespect. This Chargers not even favored by 3.5. They're favored by 2.5 over the Broncos. Who do you like?
A short week. I think that has a lot to do with it. You know, they look good on Monday night, especially on defense. I was surprised they didn't run the ball a little better. They struggled, especially early. They were better late in that game. But, I mean, they had a fumble. Najee Harris, I think, fumbled late. That gave them a chance. They went for it on midfield for no reason when they were up double digits and still covered, got an interception late in that game. So, I hate teams playing. Let's take the Chargers in the first half. I think that's a safer play. This screams like Chargers win by 1 and you don't get the cover. I do think in the first half, this team has come out and played really good in both games to start games. Let's take the Chargers in the first half -1.5. I think they'll take care of business. I even see some 2s out there. I think the Chargers in the first half is the stronger play. If I had to play for the game, I would take the Chargers -2.5. But it smells something weird is going to happen in this game for the full game. So that's why I'm leaning towards the first half. Next game, Saints and the Seahawks. And the Saints, we should just go back and call them the Aints anymore. Like, that's just how they've been playing, have not looked good. Seattle, 1-1 on the year, favored by 7.5 or total 41.5. Is this a get-right game for Seattle?
So, full disclosure, my 8-unit top future is on the Saints under 4.5 wins, and that looks pretty good right now. And I will tell you that, do you know Spencer Rattler actually threw for over 300 yards last game? I thought he played pretty well. If you look at it, and keep in mind that my first 7-unit was on Arizona over the Saints, and they won 13-20. They haven't looked that bad. They lost by 7 against Arizona, 5 against San Francisco, lost by 12 points. Arizona and San Francisco, both pretty good teams. You have a New Orleans team here. Sorry, Rattler threw for 200 yards, but 3 touchdowns. That's what I meant. 25 for 34, 207 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I think the Saints cover this game. I like the fact that Seattle comes in beating Pittsburgh 31-17. I like the fact they're probably going to have a letdown here. Seattle has Arizona on deck. It's not like they're looking ahead. I think the Saints have been surprisingly good. I think they're going to be a good dog here on the road. I think they're going to get up for this game. I think Seattle's going to have a massive letdown after that big Steelers win. They're going to think they're much better than they actually are, okay, because Darnold threw for 2 interceptions as well. The Saints are actually pretty decent when it comes to stopping the rush. I don't think Seattle's going to be able to rush 105 yards on them like they did last time. And this is a fantastic public fade. I think the Seahawks win by 4. So I'm going to back the Saints.
Don't forget about that free $60 for new customers. How to get in? Very simple. DocSports.com/ICCT. All new customers get a $60 to check us out.
Craig, Dallas coming off that exciting win against the Giants, but they did not cover the +5.5 because that was on my IC6 football card, which went 5-1, by the way. Dallas -1 favorite over Chicago. Chicago still winless. Dallas 1-1. Dallas's total to start the year was 7.5 wins in Vegas. What do you think, Craig? You think they've actually looked better than advertised? They did almost beat the Eagles. They were down early against the Giants, but they didn't come back. Chicago lost 21-52 against the Lions, lost 24-26 against the Vikings. Both those losses look terrible right now. Who do you like, Craig?
Look at the Bears, and I'm not saying the season's over, but if they lose this game, it's going to be that's a tough division to have to come back. I think Detroit, we saw what they were. We saw what Green Bay is. Minnesota's been better than I thought they even would be this year. And Chicago looks like they're going to be the last in that division again. This is a must-win. I do think they get the win here. Everybody is on the Cowboys because, 1, they look good week 1, and 2, they found a way. But look what they gave up to a bad Giants offense. I mean, Russell Wilson was just bombing them deep. That spells trouble. This is a get-right game for Coach Ben Johnson. He has to look – but the offense has not looked really great. Caleb Williams continues to be baffling. His talent is so good. He just has to be better, and I think he will be this game. Give me the Bears. as a 1-point underdog. Yeah, we'll take the Bears as a 1-point underdog. Play the money line, doesn't matter. I think the Bears win outright. Next game, we've got a couple games left here, 2 games left to be exact. We got the Cardinals and the 49ers. And the 49ers, I don't know if Brock Purdy will be back. Sounds like he probably won't be this week. Kittle looks like he'll be out as well. They're still favored here, -1.5, total 43.5. Mac Jones, your Mac Jones of the almighty Alabama Crimson Tide, looked like he did in college. What do you like here in this one?
Good game. Good game. I mean, I will tell you this. Arizona beat them 47-24 last year on January 5th, if you remember. Arizona's actually won this game the last 2 times. And I'm very surprised to see the total as low as it is because of that. Arizona comes in as the dog here, but, what else are you supposed to do if you're the odds maker? You can't make Arizona a road favorite against San Francisco. So you can't do that. Arizona beat Carolina 27-22, but they didn't cover that game. They did beat New Orleans 20-13. They did cover that game. San Francisco off of a nice win against New Orleans. And, they beat Seattle the first week too. I want to take Arizona here, and I want to try to keep it simple. I don't even want to mess with the total. I just think Arizona played like dog poop the last game. I think Arizona is actually the healthier team. I think Arizona's win, granted, they beat 2 NFC South duds in New Orleans and Carolina. I know because I'm a Falcons fan. San Francisco probably has a better quality win against Seattle, but Arizona always gets up for San Francisco. They beat them the last 2 times. And what a huge accomplishment for this Arizona team if they start the year 3-0. It's monumental. And I think they understand how important it is as well. And I just think I love the fact they played like absolute dog poop against Craig, are we allowed to curse?
I don't know.
Let's not find out. So I love the fact that Arizona didn't close Carolina almost came back to win that game, right? It was 22-27. They put up 13 points they put up 13 points in the fourth quarter. I'm going to back Arizona here. I just think this is almost not like a franchise turning win, but it will say something if Arizona wins this game. And I think that is important for a team that's been hungry for so long, and it sends a message to the ownership as well. I will tell you, put it all together. And I'll tell you something else about Arizona too, which is interesting. Their game after this against San Francisco is against Seattle. That's a game that I'm not high on Seattle at all. That's a home game that they could win. They face Tennessee. There is a chance that Arizona can start the year 5-0.
Don't forget, the best value we have here at YouTube is the YouTube premium products. We've got level 1, that's level 1 is. Don't forget about the premium products we have at YouTube. We have 3 levels of premium. Level 1 is Lenny's video every day, $4.99. Plus, you get early access to all the football, and we do some live content that's exclusive to our members. Level 2 is Indian Cowboy, where you get extra plays from Indian Cowboy every day, video format. And you can talk to them back and forth. And then level 3, you get all 3 levels. Level 2, you actually get level 1 as well. So you get all 3 levels as you move up, and you get 3 expert plays every day from Doc Sports experts, one of them being from me. So make sure you check that out. Very simple, $49.99 a month for the level 3.
All right, Craig, Kansas City here, the 0-2 Kansas City Chiefs facing the New York Giants. And Craig, you said the Chiefs might not make the playoffs, and you might have been right. Holy smokes. Chiefs come in as a 6-point road favorite here. Giants +6. Russell Wilson. We did see some varied interesting things for these Giants. Russell Wilson did go 30 for 41, 450 yards, 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. I am not a Russell Wilson believer at all. I think he's cocky. I think he's arrogant, which is fine. I think, other QBs are cocky and arrogant, but something about Russell Wilson rubs me the wrong way. Like Michael Penix Jr. is cocky and arrogant, but I like Michael Penix Jr. So I don't know. Russell Wilson is not very likable, but I guess Sierra likes him, or so that's all that really matters. Kansas City lost to the to the Eagles 17-20, lost to the Chargers 21-27. Those are good losses. You lose to the Chargers, it's a good loss by 6. You lose to the Eagles, defending champs, right? Giants, of course, did cover last game. Who do you like, Greg?
It's the 2 best losses of any team out there that's 0-2, that's for sure. And who would you rather be, 0-2 if you're the Chiefs or 0-2 if you're the Giants? Look who the Giants have played comparatively. This is a must-win, though, for the Chiefs, because it's just like, get right. This is like Andy Reid taking you behind the woodshed and like, boys, let's have some fun out there. Let's go to New York and put on a show. And it's the defense, I think, that has to pick it up, because the offense, they had a couple turnovers that if you turn those in, they probably have a chance to win the game late. Didn't happen. But the defense, they have to dominate. They have to dominate, because that's what they did last year. I think they do. So this is you can't buy any lower. If for a Chiefs, I guess if they lose, you could buy them lower. But I think they win this game. We're buying really low here. -6, I don't think it's going to be a problem. Give me the Chiefs minus the 6 in this one on Sunday Night Football. Now, that's what we have for all the games for today. Don't forget, if you like what we do and you want to check out our absolute best stuff, go over to Docs for new customers. Go to docsports.com/ICCT. That'll get you a $60 free account. You can use it by my top play or IC's top play, anybody's top play, to be honest, or use it towards one of our week passes. If you're an existing user, Cowboy 10 saves you 10% off this week. So make sure you get on that if you're an existing or new user. And don't forget, if you haven't done so, hit that thumbs up. Put in the comments what you like for this week. Tell us if you like a 3-team parlay, 2-team. Or if you don't like anything we put what you like instead. But just put something to tell us you're watching. All right, guys. Hey, thanks again, IC, for joining me. We'll see you back again next week.
Premium, best value on the internet.
Click right here after the video, and you can get all the other videos we have up for both college football, NFL, Monday Night Football, all that stuff. Good luck.